For section 3, what we're focusing on now is as many notes of the chord as possible, and this is called an arpeggio. So if we look at section 2, example number 1, that's the only example there, if we were to play every note in order, we would get 1 blow, 1 draw, 2 draw, half step bend, 3 draw, whole step bend, 4 blow, 4 draw, 6 draw, right? So if I play that in order, then all the notes in order of the 4 chord, you essentially are getting a huge arpeggio. And the more notes of the chord we use, the cooler the lick is. Again, let me state it. Our best players of blues harmonica use as much of the chord as possible. So it's accurate to say that the coolest licks use the most notes of the chord or are arpeggio based. Here's example number 1. Now, warning for our newer players. What I mean by newer, you're in your first 2 years. Bending is very challenging on the harmonica, and we're going to be hitting some very challenging bends. Listen to me. You might try it yourself, but this might be over your head bending skill-wise. But if you're close to hitting these bends in tune, then this is actually perfect for you. This will give you the opportunity to really dial in your bends. What I don't want to do is have this be something that makes you hit your head against the wall too hard too often. Bending is a challenging technique. Be aware of that I have provided a lot of licks that don't require a whole bunch of bending skill, but as the licks go on, they are more and more bend-centric because that 5 chord loves bends, and really good 5-for-1 transitions and great turnarounds, and to a certain degree endings, use a lot of articulate bending. So I guess what I'm saying is be realistic on your studies. If you're within your first 4 years of study, these bends are going to be challenging. If you're in your first year, almost impossible to play. So just grab the licks that you know you can play and ones that are a little bit out of reach, but this is some challenging stuff. If you're an advanced player, man, this is exactly where you need to be. Example number 1. Let me play it slowly. 2, 3, 4. Let's get our bends dialed in. Grab your A harmonica, 1 draw together, 2 draw, half step bend. On your tuner, that's either E flat or D sharp. Again, 3 draw, whole step. That's either G flat or F sharp. So those are our tough ones, right? So here's the lick one more time. 3, 4. Three draw, half step bend. That's the note G on your A harmonica. So, cool stuff. A little challenging to hit those bends. Well, let's up the ante. Here's example number 2. Here's even more of the chord. Very cool lick. Again, very tricky. Up the ante again. Here's that cool lick I played for you before that I heard Mitch Kashmar play. Again, these are arpeggio-based. Example number 1, root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7th octave, root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7th octave, root. Right up through the basic 4 notes of the chord. Our example number 2 is root, root, major 3rd, or just 3rd, 5th, 6th, our honorary chord tone, flat 7th octave, flat 7th, and the other one repeats. So we're hitting as many notes of the chord in order as possible. Let me just play these in order for you here. Examples 1, 2, and 3 right in order. 2. Number 1. Here's number 2. This is our shuffle jam track. Here we go. And example number 3. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, pretty cool sounding licks, huh? Also be aware that I provided you 2 MP3s. One is the one you just heard, and that's the 5-4-1 transition jam track. Remember, just loops over and over, 5, 4, and you get 2 bars of the 1 chord, so it gives you a chance to lick your lips and get ready for the next lick. I also have a slow blues version, so if you're playing any of these examples that are tough like this sucker, go ahead and use the slow blues version to make sure you can focus on your bends. So again, our focus here is that the more advanced the licks are, the cooler the licks are, the more of the arpeggio they use. If you're an upper intermediate to advanced to professional player, this is where you want to be spending your time. You really want to dial in those bends. All right, it's time to move on to our licks.